Good evening. Back with you for a recap, taking a look at today's trades. Overall, not a bad day. I mean, between all the stocks that were traded, I was up something in the vicinity. I want to say 1,650. Is that what the number was? 1,650 US. About 2 grand Canadian, 2,100 all converted. You can add up the math yourself off the numbers you see on the screen and get an exact quota yourself. Um, So I'm gonna go through those trades real quick and showcase again, kind of what the thinking model was, why I took the trades, and et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So the first one, we'll start down a list here just so you get used to interactive brokers. If you're not used to their platform, I want you to get an idea here. So firstly, to the skeptics, you will know that if you're running interactive brokers in a paper account, it has a giant red message up here telling you that this is a paper account. So obviously this is not a paper account. This is straight out of my big account that I trade with. So with the IB, you get to see the financial instruments, which I'll be going through all of them. And then on the far right hand side, you can see the quantity that was purchased and sold. You can see if they were bought or sold. And you can see the fill price. So the order price is what I put in. Sometimes I put limit orders, sometimes I put market orders in, depending on numerous factors, which I cover in depth in my courses. And you can see what prices I actually got filled out in comparison to the orders that were submitted. Okay, so number one play was on MVIS, and they just they have fantastic earnings. Not rumors. There's earnings coming up on Thursday, and the stock is heavily shorted. It's just nothing more than a previous runner that's heavily shorted in anticipation of news. If I throw this on a daily chart, you'll see what I mean by a previous runner. This stock is something that has ran in the past from sixes to the 20s, and as the case usually is, when shorts are winning the game, that when they get caught into something like earnings, then this is what you're looking at. You have these multi-day runs that can happen again, and I was just there trading that this morning. Okay, so let's put this onto into today's. Let's do 5-minute candles just so we can capture the pre-market. So as you can see, yesterday this thing had a beautiful squeeze, and then right into pre-market. I was up early this morning, and the saying goes, the early bird catches the worm, right? So I was just trading this. I was buying up into the dips, and this thing was holding nicely for most of pre-market, and then sold into strength. And then as the stock was showing itself again to me and proving that it can hold, right? And it was not just one of these one and dones that are going to be over with. Then I started loading up into those dips again. You've heard me talk about these 1 p.m. dip buys numerous times, right? So that's what this was. So 1 p.m. dip buy, and beautiful, beautiful price action, sold into strength there, bought into the dips again. For an after hours push, I got a little impatient here. The squeeze that I wanted here, I wanted it to happen into the close. So I sold, and then the stock ran. So again, I'm loading up on the dips, and I'm sitting on what would this be, a 28? I think it's a 28.03 average, and the stock is now trended up to 28.87. So still about $285 unrealized on a 1745 realized P&L today. So today I made 1745 US on just MVIS plus the unrealized. We'll see where this thing goes tomorrow, if it's going to continue spiking. I've got a sell order set up here at 3180 to start unloading some shares. You can see that right here. And I had a buy order at 26.90 in case this dip was going to continue down. I wanted to buy up some of the dips here, but I canceled that obviously because the stock ran up. Okay, so that was MVIS. So go back down here. What was next? Oh yeah, GVSI. $577 loss on it. And this was it was a bit of an unfortunate trade because I just wasn't getting filled. Okay, I wish I was there and showcase this live to you, but I had orders to get out into 233s, 235, 236, and there was enough of a panic going on where I just it's the name of the game with OTCs, and when I started seeing this massive panic, the OTCs, they can run fast. So the name of the game is to cut your losses very quickly, and that's exactly what I did here. I cut my losses. I was pushing a fair amount of size in there. So with the GVSI, I'm pushing 250,000 shares in there. So if you're looking at this in relative context, I think it's important to realize how much was also at play. So 250,000 shares at let's just buy it at what was it, 0.022, and then I think so 0.022. Right, so 5,500 bucks. You're throwing at this, so you're taking a 10% loss, and that's how fast this stuff can move. Okay. Nonetheless, no emotions attached to that. Just cut your losses and move on. And I'm glad I did, because instantly WTII was running, right? So by not getting emotional and getting stuck into something like GVSI, I was able to capture the move on WTII for a $205 profit. So I'm fairly happy with that. 100,000 shares. I sold a little bit at 640 and a little bit at 620. You can see that where my mouse is right here. And that's what these two sale orders are up here. And then back into MVIS, I guess, for the afternoon, where I was buying up the dips. The next stock I was trading was RVPH. This thing was a massive, massive squeeze, and I think they had fantastic news today, right? Yeah, they had some sort of good news, and I was really convinced this sort of W action we had right here was going to squeeze and retest 950. And you know what? I was right. If you actually think about it, I was right to buy here, and the opportunity was there to sell. I just didn't sell. I thought this thing was going to break out, and by choosing to hold through that, I had to hold through this pain because the thesis still was holding true in my mind. So I just added up into the dips for the next squeeze, not getting panicked out as a lot of people do here. I just give myself the flexibility of adding into my share size, and was able to sell it for a $232 profit on RVPH.